Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming out. My name is Monique Henry-Hudson. I'm co-founder of DiverseToons. DiverseToons is a traveling animation panel series. Our two panels are Black in Animation and Women in Multimedia, and we are looking forward to expanding beyond that as things have been picking up for us. The purpose of the panels is just to, first and foremost, hear the professional, the career journeys from people who work in the industries that we, if we're not working in, we're trying to work in, and to build our network and just continue to create exposure and awareness. So like I said, my name is Monique, and I'm joined by three lovely women to my left, and we're all gonna be sharing how we got into the industry, what it's been like for us, and how and if our race and gender have played a part in us navigating our careers.
Totally like losing myself as an artist because of all the jobs I was getting. And I think that that is something that can happen for many reasons. Like, one is that if you really want to keep pushing yourself and like always making sure that you're doing the best that you can do, and also just like, you know, a lot of times you put clients and you put jobs before yourself. And I almost brought that to the breaking point this past year, where I was getting amazing jobs, like so cool and really like big, going to like awesome film festivals, and like we're the only studio doing graphics and like super amazing things, but I'm somehow not excited about any of them. And I think that a huge challenge is to really, really take care of yourself and take care of your sanity and take care of like your goal. Like, if you break it down, why are you in this industry? Like, why are you really doing this, you know? Or for me, it's like, why did I start a business to do this? And you get to like a few levels of whys. It's like, well, because I want to maybe be in charge of my schedule so I can go on vacation and hang out with my family and whatever. And then if I think about that long enough, I'm like, if I traveled and hung out with friends and family and rested and took care of myself, after that, I would want to make more art. So like that is my driving motivator. So now I'm trying to like be smart about the business side of things so that I'm not overworking myself, so that I do have time left to make personal work, because I'm so much happier when I do that. And then when you are showing that to the world, whether it's Instagram or your website or Twitter, you're gonna get more jobs because of that. You'll be happier. People will be seeing like what your like deep artistic soul wants to put out. And then the other part of that, I think, is trying to not compare yourself to everyone else in the industry, which is also very hard with social media, because you're just like I only follow like animation and like artists on Instagram, you know? Like, I don't even follow friends. Because it's just like I'm constantly scrolling through like beautiful paintings and motion graphics and everything. And it's hard to not want to be like, oh man, I wonder if I could make that, or like how, you know. And I have found the most success when I like somehow can detach yourself from what you're seeing on the internet and like really connect to deeply what you want to make if you had all the time in the world. And I think that that will make everything better for you, like sanity and clients and work and everything. So
How can we start seeing more women representation and from not only the content that's being created, but also content creators?
I went to school outside of Philly, maybe 15 minutes, and I know for sure I was teaching my teacher about Photoshop, you know, before he even got to a lesson. I was telling him, you know, I hate to be the person to tell you you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong. And you know, I didn't even connect that to a career. It was just, oh, this is fun. People Photoshop, you know, their friends or what. But it wasn't apparent that this is something people do. And I'm still sitting here thinking I want to be a painter. So getting into college and being up against all of these kids who had a programming education or who had an animation education in high school, I felt like what am I doing here? You know, these kids are whipping out amazing stuff freshman year and I can barely make a cube. So, you know, exaggerating a bit, but that's how it felt. And I think just having access and less disparity between different, and this is a problem to begin with, but just having kind of an equal opportunity across schools would be ideal, obviously, it goes without saying. If I had had the option to have that class, I might have taken it at that age. And if I had seen other women that looked like me working in this industry, I definitely would have taken it. But like visibility is like step one, you know, just knowing that this job exists. People that look like you do this job. Like, don't rule it out, you know, just because, you know, it seems like, oh, I can't do it, it's not for me. You know, just, I feel like we're really lacking that visibility in certain schools, because I know I want to go back to my school and bring what I do to them so that they can see this really fun job. Like, I know a lot of people who would have loved to do this job. Really super talented people who didn't know where to go with their talent.
Yeah, I agree with Lauren on giving people enough accessibility and giving them enough opportunity to like experience all that. Because like, especially in my industry, it's still a very male-dominant industry, whereas tech and also VR, AR is like very new, still a lot of people still figuring out. So there's not enough opportunity for people to actually try it out. So for me, part of my role, well, it was never in my job description per se to like, oh, represent, but still, I think I feel responsible for like make sure my voice is heard to be part of this project, this product we're working on. Make sure I represent myself and all the community that was not normally represented. So I always like remind myself to like, okay, because a lot of times I come from like South Korea, and like South Korea is like very, we are influenced heavily towards more of a white culture in America. Because like when it got to it, it was like we hit in the face very heavily. So we never actually had a chance or access to any other culture other than white, Western, like Hollywood culture per se. So when I got here, I had to relearn all that. I had to like, okay, there's more than Hollywood culture that I've known, because you just don't have accessibility. So I always remind myself that, okay, so now I'm in VR, so I'm kind of like the sort of pioneer to this war. So I make sure I just represent everybody and make sure to include everybody. So when someone out there use my product or our project, they see themselves in the project. So I think that's one of the biggest part, to engage more people. And yeah, also making sure, we just use the right word and use the right language to, convey all the project, and make sure we're not biased to any current, very male biased industry right now.
To help promote visibility and awareness of women doing these type of things, I agree that like having panels and opportunities like this, because I am currently doing a part-time job for a VR pop-up, and Julie's studio actually has some artwork that's there, and it was actually funny because I had just reached out to Julie to be on the panel, and I get to work and I see her name in her studio, and it's just like I really didn't know. Like I'm like completely new to this VR world and experience, but here's already a woman that like I'm getting to know that's in this world. And then to hear Olivia talk about the makeup part, like that's a big issue like for me at work and troubleshooting. Yeah. Like even today, I'm like, I can't put this on because I'm gonna mess up my makeup for tonight. And like, I can't, and that's like a constant thing. And it's like, what are the workarounds? What are the things that are the people that are creating these headsets, what are they doing to kind of meet us halfway as women on that? And also for like me and looking for mentorship, like I just don't personally know Black women who have been in the industry for a long period of time. Like I don't know them, I don't know where they exist. I feel like most of them are in California, and there should be some here, but I'm like still on my personal journey to meet them. But it's just like we have to create spaces for us just to also just meet each other who are here in New York, because now we get to know Olivia, who works in like VR and AR, and Julie that works in VR and AR, and Lauren who does like CG, and hear all those stories. And a lot of the people in the audience have like similar backgrounds, interests, and want to build up that experience. And it's just by connecting, networking, showing up for each other too, resharing each other's work, and just like helping to all like, we push one person forward, but then they should always be like also reaching back and just like helping to keep the door open for us to like pass through in that. But it doesn't